fall when we finished up harvesting, why we were selling them for less than $2 a hundred, and the boss said, do we really have to do this? And I said, no, honey, we don't. That was the end of our potato growing history.
A potato farmer, a volunteer, a community pillar. Eldon Tessman, who spent his entire life farming and serving Brooklyn Park, died on Monday at the age of 95. Tessman was an influential figure in the city. He supported organizations and provided a historical perspective that city leaders found invaluable. Delane Cleveland spoke to a couple of his longtime associates about the impact Tessman had on Brooklyn Park.
Along 85th Avenue in Brooklyn Park, a literal blast from the past.
One of the landmarks in Brooklyn Park is that barn on 85th Avenue that says, God bless America.
That barn is one of the few visible reminders of the city's proud potato farming history, and it was the longtime home of Eldon Tessman.
This is my great-grandfather's place. The barn that's behind us was already here. Then my grandfather in 1883 built the home that we are currently in today.
That was Tessman speaking in 2017. The lifelong Brooklyn Park resident died this week at the age of 95, but he left a remarkable imprint on those who knew him.
He was just an active participant who had great pride in Brooklyn Park and Osseo. Great historical perspective.
Shaylin Johnson has been a member of the Brooklyn Park Rotary for nearly 2 decades and struck up a friendship with Tessman.
He loved his friends, he loved his family, and he's just a tremendous role model.
A role model in large part because he helped provide financial support for causes he believed in, such as the Osseo Fire Department.
They had a fire department before we had one in Brooklyn Park or Maple Grove. Good group for us to give our monies to, so I feel very comfortable about our decision.
That was his land that he sold to the school district.
Former Brooklyn Park Mayor and current County Commissioner Jeff Lundy had fond memories of Tessman.
Eldon was always kind of one of those wise community leaders that you would kind of seek out and ask questions because he had just been around for so long and had his hands in North Hennepin, Hennepin Tech, the school districts.
Lundy says that as a politician, having someone with Tessman's vast knowledge was invaluable because he provided historical perspective.
He wasn't there to tell people what to do. He was just there to support, provide some information, just provide kind of like be there in the community to say, hey, we're working on this together.
An influential person who was admired by many.
And there will be a void with his passing.
In Brooklyn Park, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
A visitation for Eldon Tessman will take place on Monday, January 29th at Brooklyn United Methodist Church from 4 to 8 that evening. Protests erupted in Brooklyn Center City Hall on Monday night after a decision about police traffic stops.
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now!
Brooklyn Center City Council rejected a policy that would have restricted low-level traffic stops. Police would not have been able to make stops solely for issues like a broken headlight or hanging air fresheners. The policy was recommended by a committee formed after the police shootings of Dante Wright and Kobe Dima Keisler.
2 years ago, we were we were the leader. We were going to be a leader in this country to have some progressive policy, and now we've fallen behind. You guys are some sorry people, and more people are going to die because you guys didn't do the right thing. I have been fighting for 3 years. My son has been dead for 2 years and 9 months, and you guys say no to a policy that's going to protect people?
The City Council voted 3-2 to reject the policy. Mayor April Graves and Councilmember Marquita Butler cast votes for approval. State lawmakers, including the governor, visited Brooklyn Park to announce a new plan that will provide child care benefits to local military families.
Because our service members, even though they're part-time, we ask them to deploy, we ask them to go to training, and sometimes these things happen on a short notice. So it's very important that we have dependable child care for families like Mimi's.
The governor and lieutenant governor visited two-at-a-time child care on Monday to announce the launch of the Military Child Care in Your Neighborhood Plus initiative. The program uses federal dollars to help offset the cost of child care for active-duty National Guard and Reserve members. While other states have active-duty military bases with child care centers, Minnesota does not. Now local military families can receive up to $1,800 a month under this program to help pay for child care at an accredited provider.
My husband is deployed overseas, and having 2 small children by myself it's a lot of work. And so just having this benefit really, really makes a difference for our family.
State officials say that Minnesota has more than 10,000 spouses and 16,000 children of active duty National Guard and Reserve members. If you're looking for some color to carry you through the winter blues, look no further than Robbinsdale Middle School. Their Plymouth kids are performing The Little Mermaid Junior. The Little Mermaid is a story about finding yourself. Fitting for this group of middle schoolers.
It starts off with Ariel just living her life in the sea, even though it's never enough for her. She always wants to go up to the land and see that whole other world.
Isabel Clifton plays Ariel. She says she's grateful for a chance to perform.
I've been singing and performing since I was a little kid.
It's just really fun because we're really good friends. Offset.
Just let your emotions tell your body what to do.
And alongside Isabel, her good friend Opal Molitor is Prince Eric.
As long as you know how to act, it's not that hard to just step into any role.
Time's up. You lose.
Opal's part isn't the only one that's gender bent.
In our show, we really wanted to make sure that we cast the right kids. And for us, it didn't really matter the gender, the race.
So you need to be thoughtful about what you are wearing.
And director Nina Johnson says it's a combination of the right parts to tell the right story.
I just think that this is the most fun, most interesting, most creative age around, and so getting to put on a show with these actors and tech kids is just the best way to spend the winter that I could think of.
You can see The Little Mermaid at Robbinsdale Middle beginning Thursday evening. There are also performances on Friday and Saturday. More details are available at ccxmedia.org.